Thank you. Ms. Hinson is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to talk a little bit more about something that's already been discussed today, and that is the child tax credit and the expansion of that under the 2017 Trump tax cuts. Doubled the tax credit, increased its refundability, and raised that income threshold. And all that does is it makes it so that more families, more hardworking Iowa families and American families can access that credit. So building on that foundation, I actually introduced a package of bills called the Providing for Life Act. It really prioritizes the needs of our families and ensures that they have the resources to thrive. It would expand the child tax credit, include provisions for paid family leave, support for expecting parents and pregnancy centers, and it would specifically increase the refundable child tax credit up to $3,500 for kids under the age of 18 and $4,500 for kids under the age of 6. Also expanding the credit to unborn babies during a woman's pregnancy. So in addition to that, it would also make the adoption tax credit fully refundable. This would help people like my colleague, Mr. Nutt over here, who have taken it upon themselves to adopt children and expand their families. Kids deserve to have a loving, happy family, and this can help with that. So by broadening access to these benefits and in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and then legislation like what I've proposed, it would help to reduce child poverty. It would alleviate financial pressure on real working families who often face these unique challenges, such as limited job opportunities, longer commutes, and higher costs for those essential services. So, Mrs. Correa, I just wanted to ask you, when you hear about the expansions that I just talked about, even above and beyond the child tax credit, would those resources and having conversations with your neighbors in rural America really help families like yours?
Thank you for the question. Yes, the expansion of the child tax credit would, without a doubt, help myself and my neighbors and others. Being a part of the autism community, I know a lot of families that are also struggling and constantly looking for support or different services, and they're not cheap, let me tell you. But there are kids. You can't say no. It's what they need to be fully functioning adults one day and to, really just exist in society. So expanding that for young children, I think that's so valuable. I can't tell you the number of doctor's appointments we've gone to for a heart murmur or, having to find a specialist pediatric ophthalmologist because we didn't know if they were seeing well, and so all of those expenses, right? And parents are just trying to do the best job they can for their kids. And it's expensive, and it's getting more and more expensive. I can tell you, when I go to Sam's Club to buy chicken nuggets and fruit for my kids, the price just keeps going up and up and up. And I buy milk 3 gallons at a time, and it's getting more and more expensive. So again, expanding that child tax credit would help families like mine and really help like our kitchen table.
Yeah. I have a 13-year-old now, so we feel you on the personal level. I had no idea how much 13-year-old boys eat. It's really gross to watch me eat sometimes, but certainly feel that in my grocery bill. And I'm sure much like you, I see those expenses tack up, and add up. So I want to move to domestic manufacturing because obviously that's such an important part of our rural economy here, and we've seen and heard already about the investments in businesses creating those jobs right here in rural America. And our foreign adversaries like China continue to ramp up their investment in work and research to gain control of our critical supply chains. So I think it's never been more important for Congress to really commit to pro-growth policies that help American leadership on the global stage. So getting to that investment, Mr. Sukup, as a business owner, can you speak to the importance of this tax policy that keeps us competitive, not just here at home, but on that world stage? Because you sell your equipment all over the world, so you see those impacts day to day.
Yes, we export containers every week out of our company. It goes across the globe. Being able to have whether it's the depreciation or the lower tax rate lets us reinvest into our manufacturing, and I think over the last 4 years with the COVID and everything, you've seen how important manufacturing and domestic manufacturing is, and so this Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is just critical for us to continue with that aggressive mode.
So if these cuts are allowed to expire, and you've talked about a lot of the growth you've experienced, that'll mean some hard decision making for you and your family.
Yes. No, there'd be some pullback. So far, our markets have stayed strong, and we've added 200 well-paying manufacturing jobs, and our intent is to keep everybody busy. Yeah, well, certainly doing a great job of that. So thank you so much for coming today, and Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. It's great to have Dr. Miller Meeks with us. We'll recognize you for an opening statement and for your questions.